Hello folks, this is the part 2 video for our Golgari Foods best out of 3 traditional draft for Throne of Eldraine. Overview of this deck, we have Feasting Troll King as our Bomb Curve Topper, Bognati and Sir Conrad as our powerful win conditions at 5, some powerful 4-drops with double Occam Adversary, a Deathless Knight that we can constantly recur back over and over and over again with the food. Wicked Guardian helps us cantrip and draw at turn 4, some decent 3 toughness, some decent high toughness blockers on turn 3 with a double Tempting Witch, Rosethorn Acolyte, and Sporecap Spider. Some good decent early game blockers, double Kiri's pair, Mereleaf Rider, Sorcerer Broom, and Trail of Crumbs on turn 2. So we definitely looking for a deck with lots of food payoffs, such as Trail of Crumbs, Deathless Knight, and Bognati. Therefore, we're also playing a Giant Opportunity, which we're usually going to use to make food anyways. The 7/7 doesn't come too often, since it's not all that amazing, but the foods... But I think we're kind of lacking in food generation with double Kiri's pair, double Tempting Witch, only a Trail of Crumbs, and I mean, I guess Feasting Troll King makes us food as well, but we kind of want the food to revive this back, while the rest of the food can kind of help us gain life, draw cards, stabilize, and whatnot. We're main decking 1 Return to Nature, since it's actually a pretty good main deckable card in this format. So yeah, I think this is our deck. I don't think we're hyper-aggressive enough to want an insatiable appetite. It can be a fine combat trick in some matchups where the opponent is playing bigger creatures, I suppose. But other than that, we're not usually looking to be super aggressive. Our goal is just to basically play defense in the early game and just kind of outvalue the opponent with the life gain and card draw from Trail of Crumbs, the constant pressure from Sir Conrad to maybe mill them, the Flyer Bognati to chip in some damage, and Feasting Troll King maybe to get in for a whole bunch. Also, Occam Adversary kind of threatens them as well, having them leave behind blockers so we don't constantly draw cards and gain value off of them. And we should have like a Forever Young and Once in Future to kind of recur back our creatures if they end up dying. So definitely looking like a strong deck. Currently 2-0. We're going 10 Force, 7 Swamps. Haven't had any problems with the mana issues with 7 Swamps. I end up drawing a lot of them in the previous games if you haven't watched them. I've been having trouble getting 4 Forest, of course, for the Feasting Troll King, even with 10-7, so I think it's kind of sketchy going 9-8. But other than that, pretty sweet deck. And let's move on to our third match. And we're on the play, making sure that we get the initiative, especially against aggro. And Trail of Crumbs and Sorcerer Broom looks great, even Giant Opportunity. So I think we'll keep here. I think I want to make 3 foods. I could make a 7/7 Giant if I get the second food going. But I think it's much more important to maybe get the food so I can keep activating Trail of Crumbs. Opponent starting off with an aggressive start. Weaselback Redcap. Maybe I just trade off for the Broom. I could just play Trail of Crumbs here. Make a food. Could trade off the Broom. Like, this is better in the late game, I guess, but I mean, I guess I can still take 1 for now. It's not like the end of the world. Let's play out the Sorcerer's Broom. I could make a 7/7, but it's going to take a while, so I might just play out a bunch of foods on turn 3. Maybe I just trade this off just to get rid of this, because eventually this can pump itself and grow even larger than it needs to. Could just Scorching Dragonfire this away. He's definitely thinking black-green with this card. I think I'm fine trading this, just so this doesn't get any larger, and we want to kind of play defense anyways in the early game. So I think this is fine. Could play out the Trail of Crumbs here. So I guess we can activate next turn, because I don't know if I want to play out a Wicked Guardian without card draw. So maybe it's fine just playing this out. Next turn we can kind of activate this to get a draw step going. Play a good toughness creature to trigger this Wicked Guardian with. Opponent is going red-green aggro, so I definitely need to play lots of early game cards against him. Alright, so I don't think I want to play Wicked Guardian. I don't think it's going to do much. So I think the right play is just to sacrifice the food here and dig. I think that's better than Giant Opportunity, since Opportunity can be used in the late game. I don't think I care about which mana I tap, since I'm going to tap out anyways. Deathless Knight looks great. There's also Cauldron, but I think Deathless Knight's worth taking here, just to kind of have a reasonable attacker that we can keep getting back with our foods. The Cauldron's a little bit too slow, so we'll love a 3-drop here or a 2-drop with the Wicked Guardian, just to kind of get a trigger off. Next turn, maybe I just play out the Deathless Knight. I could just make a bunch of food, to be honest. Maybe Deathless Knight can trade off for the Ogre Errant. I think I'll stay defense here. I can play out the Deathless Knight, make a food with Carry's Pair, and say go. You could have a Bargain, but I'm fine just having him waste his Pump Trick. But I really need to play defense in this matchup. I can't afford to just swing in with everything. Sorry, just notifications. We can even just play out the Carry's Pair, sack the food next turn, and draw. But this trade will be pretty nice here, since I can just simply trade this off and then get it back with the food and the life gain. I mean, I could just play Carry's Pair and make a bunch of food from Giant Opportunity, in fact. Or if I get a land, I can just play out the Wicked Guardian. Alright, that's fine. But I do need a way to deal with this eventually. So I do need double blocks against this. But we're going to take a ton for now. Right, so now what? Could play Giant Opportunity, sack food end of turn. I could just play out Carry's Pair, in fact. And then sack food end of turn, draw a card, and take 4 from the Ogre Errant. Since none of these double blocks will make any sense, and next turn I can Wicked Guardian on the Carry's Pair. I think that's reasonable. And do I dig for a land? Probably. So I can play both Wicked Guardian and Mereleaf Rider to kind of maybe do a nice block against this Ogre Errant. Otherwise he's just going to kill me with this. So I can see this game using Insatiable Appetite as kind of a pump trick to against the opponent. But for now I still need to take a beating here, and I will. Is there any way to make a second food to potentially make a 7/7 Giant? I don't think so. So I think we need to go digging here and then just play a bunch of stuff next turn to maybe do a triple block against this Ogre Errant. Otherwise we're just going to die. And the Garenbrig Paladin is not something I want to see, so yeah. Let's do this. Yep, gotta be the force here. Ooh, Adversary. So Adversary can block the Ogre Errant. And I can play this for 2 mana, so this seems nice. I could just replay the Deathless Knight, I guess, or the Wicked Guardian could just draw me a card. So I think that's much more preferable. And I'll probably take 5 from this Garenbrig Paladin and trade off for the Ogre Errant. So hopefully we can kind of stabilize against this opponent. And if he shoots this away, I guess I'm forced to double block the Ogre Errant and take a beating. Alright, the opponent gives it evasion. He's obviously attacking with only 1. Okay, that's sketchy. I think he should be attacking with all. I don't think his game plan is to stay back. So, alright, a second Garenbrig Paladin. So we definitely need a lot more blockers with higher power. Ooh. Well, that's looking great. So now I can use the adversary, I guess, to fight off the Garenbrig Paladin, and then maybe make a food, or even play out Merreleaf Rider. I think I like that. Yeah, I think I'm fine targeting with the Oakham adversary since this can kind of dodge Scorching Dragonfire. So I think we're going to do this. And this has Death Touch too, so any pump tricks I can still kill this off with. Then the Merreleaf Rider can serve as another double block against the Garenbrig Paladin. Could attack with this 3-power creature, but then I would need something to kind of trade off for this Garenbrig Paladin. I mean, he can give this Menace, I guess, anyways. But I do need something to stay behind, and I don't want to play... And I should have enough card advantage from this Trail of Crumbs I don't care about attacking in. So I think we're still staying back here. And I can still once in future back my Out Muscle as well next turn to just kind of clean up the board even more. Alright, opponent's kind of flooding out. Land off the top would be pretty nice since I can once in future for Adamant. Ooh, another Oakham adversary. So that's also looking good. I think I want to play out the adversary and then once in future for Adamant, get back Out Muscle, and then we should be stabilized. And then we can pretty much win the game from there. So I think we're just going to do this and just say go. Alright, return to Wild Speaker. Sure, I guess he gets to draw 5 cards now to eventually shoot down my adversary. But opponent definitely has a powerful deck as well. I don't mind losing anything here since I can just get it back. So he probably has a Searing Barrage for my adversary, and then I can get it back with the once in future next turn, and also Out Muscle away the Garenbrig Paladin. He could have a Joust. So yeah, opponent definitely looks like he has a strong mid-range red-green deck. So I definitely want to sideboard in Insatiable Appetite. Hopefully he taps out so I can once in future and fight off his Paladin and start getting in with these adversaries. Well, he could just be tapping out for everything here, so he shouldn't have enough for another Scorching Dragonfire, another Paladin, okay. So we definitely need to fight them off. And I don't want to Out Muscle on this adversary because he has 2 mana up for like a Dragonfire. So it might make sense to just use the adversary and just fight off this Garenbrig. The one that's already a 3/4. Ooh, and a Feasting Troll King, never mind. So I could Out Muscle here, delay him a turn, and play a 2-drop. Let's just attack in with this adversary first. I'm okay just drawing a card off of this. And he wants a Dragonfire away, that's fine. This Feasting Troll King is just going to give me more food and more blocks. So next turn he definitely needs to end the game. Otherwise he's definitely going to get punished. So I think I like this. I should have enough blockers to chump block and stabilize against the opponent that I don't need to worry too much. I'd be surprised if he kills me with 10 damage off the bat, because he still needs to make his Ginger Brute unblockable, so I think we're still good here. Say go. I think he's just gonna get in there for one, that's fine. Right one is still fine. He definitely has removal spells, so I should be careful. A Rampart Smasher even, okay. So he has a bunch of 5/5s. So I think I'm gonna activate the Outmuscle with the Feasting Troll King and get an attack in. I think that's reasonable. I could make a 7/7 with the foods, in fact. I think making more foods is reasonable, but I think I like this Outmuscle here. I think it's much more important to take out the Knights, and giving this Adamant Indestructible is great too. So now I can get in for 8. Could also send the Adversary, but I'm kind of scared. I want to keep it behind for this Smasher. Otherwise, he can just kill me out of the way. And I can sacrifice food end of turn and dig with the Trail of Crumbs. We'll just say go. Sling Fire, sure. I still should have blockers against this Garenbrig and this Rampart Smasher. Opponent has a really powerful deck too. Ginger Brute, a second one, okay. I still don't see a reason to main deck Return to Nature just for these double Ginger Brutes, unless he has like a weapon to go along with them, which I haven't seen yet. But I'm definitely siding in Insatiable Appetite against his big creatures. Maybe in Lash of Thorns. I think Lash of Thorns can also be quite reasonable too against the opponent. Taking 2 here is fine. Next turn I can get into Feasting Troll King. I can also just force the opponent to block with a Marrowleaf Rider, in fact, and get in. A Witch Stalker, okay. Sure. So what if I force all 3 opponents to block, and then I just, with the Marrowleaf Rider, and then just get in with everyone? He could have a Scorching Dragonfire, I guess, which could punish me, but I think what we want to do is just sacrifice the food, trigger off the Trail of Crumbs. Because I need a way to get past all these big creatures. So, I mean, how else are we going to win? I think I need to go for it. So, yeah, I think what we need to do is play out this Deathless Knight here. Like, we could get severely punished by a Scorching Dragonfire, but I still think we do it. Now, what we need to do is play Giant Opportunity. And we want to make 3 foods, so... yeah, I think we have to go for it, otherwise we're just going to lose. Then we can make a food here. I guess we can kind of force Marrowleaf Rider everything to block Marrowleaf Rider. I think I'll do that. I could get punished, but I think this is the only way out to win, to be honest. At this point, there's just too many big bodies. Alright. Alright, so the opponent is definitely playing a mid-range, heavy red-green deck with lots of big creatures. So we definitely need some early game presence. We definitely need to outvalue the opponent. We definitely need to get Feasting Troll King out on the battlefield ASAP. We need our Death Touchers. We need our high-powered creatures. I don't think Return to Nature is going to do much in this matchup, so I think I'm going to sideboard out. But what do we put in? And I guess I might still have to play Return to Nature against the Ginger Brutes. I definitely need the Insatiable Appetite. Yeah, but I guess Return to Nature is the one we cut out, obviously. Don't think we need a Crashing Drawbridge. I mean, I guess Crashing Drawbridge can deal with the Ginger Brutes, I guess. So what would we cut for it? I think I need Forever Young. Don't care about the Adamant Dude. Don't care about this. Don't care about this. Yeah, Crashing Drawbridge can deal with the Ginger Brutes, so I can see myself sideboarding that in. And maybe we can just cut a Tempting Witch again, since it's kind of slow. Maybe I see myself cutting a Kiri's Pair instead, since these don't really block the opponent profitably. Like, Tempting Witch can still kind of drain them in the late game in case I need something. The Broom can maybe go wide in the late game, but he has too many Paladins for me to deal with for this to even be remotely effective. So I can see myself cutting the Broom and just playing all these blockers in the early game and just kind of get there. So I think I'm going to try this. But the opponent definitely has a really powerful deck. We're also playing a slow deck. Ooh, Kiri's Pair and then Crashing Drawbridge. I don't mind if I do. This can kind of protect me from the Ginger Brutes in the early game. And he definitely has one already, so. Single green creature can give me access to Adversary on 2. I think I just play out the Drawbridge. Yeah, I think I just played out. This will prevent him from future attacks with a Ginger Brute, and he'll have to stay back with them. Alright, Grumgully, that's scary, but at least I can play my adversaries for 2 mana. And I think I'll just... Yeah, I think I'll haste it. I mean, it's not the end of the world taking 3. And I still draw a card off of this too. So yeah, I think I go for it. This will just keep drawing me cards. I'm fine with the trade. It's definitely worth it. But the card draw definitely helps me. Okay. I definitely like to trade here if he wants. I'm fine with this. And I can also once and future it back later. Alright, a Rosedorn Acolyte. Well, I guess we have a second adversary coming up to give haste to, so this is looking great. And we have green Adamant already, so yeah, let's go for it. Gotta get the card draw. Maybe I should have attacked first, and then maybe if I top deck a Swamp, I'd play it out. So that was a little bit, that wasn't too careful of me, so, But the fact that I can outvalue opponent, okay. So I'm going to get punished a bit for not playing out the Swamp if I top deck another one next turn, since I'll miss out on the Comrade. So it's definitely important to attack first and get this trigger to resolve before you kind of play out the Forest. So a bit of a misplay there. And if I kill, I guess if I trade off my Okame adversaries, I can just once and future both of them back. So that's even better. And with Sir Comrade, if I manage to get that on play, I can drain them for 2. This is a turn where he can play out the Garenbreak Paladin. But I'm still fine attacking with the Okame if he plays it out, just so I can constantly draw cards. But I would be really punished if he doesn't have a 5, if he plays it out. Okay. I guess I still go for the trade here, if I attack. I'm clearing the board, and I'm also, I guess I can keep it back now. I mean, it's still trade. Yeah, let's go for it. And if it dies, I can still, once in future, both of them back. So that's looking good. And then we'll once in future, end of turn, and get both of them back to start chipping away again. I guess we can even play both of them on the same turn. I can't blame the opponent. My deck is just super busted. But it would be even more busted. Alright, now this is great. I can play out the once in future, get both adversaries back. And I can also give them both haste. And I can just kind of outvalue my opponent by racing them. Ooh, and also an Insatiable Appetite. So this is great. I can also play out the second land. And then whatever adversary he blocks, I can just Insatiable Appetite as well. So obviously I'm going to give them both haste here. And then we'll attack him with both. And I can also Insatiable Appetite one of them, the one he blocks. And he just blocks one, that's fine. I still get a card draw, so that's really good value for me. And I can play out a Curious Pair. I can also sacrifice food, but I think this is better. So I think we'll just say go. Next turn I can play out Sir Conrad and also keep up the Insatiable Appetite. Guess the opponent is going to try to find a way to enhance this Garenbreak Paladin. In that case, I want to keep my one of the adversaries back. Maybe use Insatiable Appetite on it and then offer a block. But I guess I'll still take 10 for now. But still, I can still start gaining a lot more health with the foods that I make. Right, I don't care about that. I'm definitely going to get in with the adversaries. I can also even give Sir Comrade haste if I want to. But I think I'm going to keep it back. He can double block here, I suppose. Which isn't the end of the world. It's still 2 for 1. Yeah, he can double block it. So should I let this resolve? Probably not. Yeah, I'm probably fine using the combat trick against this. I'm just drawing a ton of value off of this, and I have more food to gain even more life to stay alive. So I think we're fine to say go. And I'm fine blocking the Garenbreak. If he decides to use like Searing Barrage, I can still save it with the Insatiable Appetite. But I'm obviously going to block here with Sir Conrad onto the Garenbreak Paladin. He could have Return of the Wild Speaker, but I can still kill it. So I think I'm going to go like this. I think I'm blocking of everything here. He probably has a Return here, which he's going to fire off. And then I can use the Insatiable Appetite, sacrifice a food, and get a good trade. Alright, Return. Everything's +3/+3. So, I guess if I sacrifice a food, Conrad stays alive. So this was definitely a great card to have in this matchup. And then we have lethal on the way back. Sorry, opponent, for my busted deck. I mean, your deck is obviously very good as well, but mine is just a lot more busted than yours. I could have just given it haste. Actually, let's just attack. This is lethal. What am I doing? Yeah, I could have played out Bognati given haste, but it's still lethal here. Alright. Sweet. Just beat a nice mid-range red-green opponent. His deck was definitely scary, but we managed to get there. Okame adversaries for 2 mana is busted, especially with Crashing Drawbridge. Ooh, Price of Fame. Okay, so currently a 3-0. Let's kind of relook our deck, make sure we didn't mess anything up. Yeah, I can definitely see my Insatiable Appetite being better in some matchups. I could still cut a Tempting Witch for a Insatiable Appetite. It's not unreasonable, since we do face against some opponents where we want the Pump Trick. And we should have enough food with a Giant Opportunity that I don't care about having double just to drain the opponent out, since we can just pretty much win the late game. So I think I like this, and I might just side back this Witch in if the opponent doesn't have too many enchantments for me to kill. So yeah, let's continue. We'll play first. Alright, turn 1 Cauldron, turn 3 Spore Cap, maybe turn 4 Adversary. We are kind of missing land drops, but as long as we get turn 3 or turn 4, we should be okay. So I think it's worth risking it here. We also have Feasting Troll King. But I would be pretty unhappy if we kind of missed a couple more land drops, which is still possible, you know. Okay, opponent's playing blue, so enchantments and artifacts. Yeah, I'm fine playing this tapped. No problem with that. Just to make sure we guarantee that we hit our third 3-drop. Double blue, so definitely Return to Nature is looking good in this matchup, and he's looking to mill us. Alright, opponent's playing mono blue mill. He's going to play out this Secret Keeper as well, so we definitely need to get some hasters going, and luckily that we hit our 4th land. Definitely going to play out the Deathless Knight in and start getting in at the opponent. Could have a counter spell up. So maybe the adversary is just better. I don't know. So which one's better? I mean, I guess if he has counter spell, at least the food can fetch this back. So I think I'm going to lead off of a Deathless Knight here. And then we can get him for 4. You could have a Soul Tiny here. In that case, I guess I can attack with both. So opponent's on the mill plan. Haven't seen any enchantments yet. You could have like a Soul Tiny up for this Deathless Knight. He might have a Hypnotic Sprite that he's trying to keep up, and he couldn't counter this Deathless Knight. But it feels good dealing 4 damage to the opponent. And I don't really mind. I can actually use the Cauldron on the Valmir Knight if he decides to play it out. And I can still get him for a whole bunch. Alright, Frogify, sure. Alright, a Giant Skewer. So I could attack and then use the Cauldron. I don't think that's unreasonable. Because he could just attach this and then it grows even larger and they'll have a harder time taking it out the turn after. I mean, I guess if I do that, then I would need to use... I need a way to get past this Valmir Knight. So I think maybe I just play the adversary and say go. But definitely Return to Nature looks juicy on this Giant Skewer, obviously. Could have a Lockmere Serpent. Well, it seems like a good target for this Cauldron. I think I'm going to fire it off. And I will. Let's keep up at least a single green mana to make a Fuve the Kiri's pair. Yeah, a bit of a misplay. I should have I guess he can counter that. I don't care. Sure, I knew he had it, but it's not the best target for him. But I can still draw a card off of his adversary, which is looking nice. I guess he doesn't want me drawing cards. Okay. And I should keep land, maybe. I could just play it out. I mean, I'm still going to lose them both to Reaper, so I might as well play it out. If he Reapers me, I'm going to be pretty upset here. Because I just need a single force to play out this Troll King. Alright, he's just going to mill me for 4. Alright, these aren't, I don't care about these. Alright, don't care about these. Do I just offer to trade with the adversary? I guess I can, since I can just forever young it back. And then I can just put all my creatures on top again, including the second adversary. So I think it's fine. And he wants to do a value trade, that's fine too, because I can just get back the Deathless Knight. Definitely an adversary, definitely an adversary. How good is attempting? I guess the Roseland Acolyte can give us green mana for the Troll King, so I think I'm going to take all these 3. And I could play the Acolyte first. Nah, I think I like the... Yeah, let's just keep the Rose Thorn, and then we can just play it out. And just keep getting in. And then next turn we can play this Acolyte, and then... I mean, he could mill us again. So I guess it was right to draw the adversary, because I would eventually get a force for my deck, regardless. One, two, 3, 4, 5. Okay, for Adamants, I don't think I care. I'm fine for a 2-for-1 if he wants to trade. Yeah, he's just gonna attach this onto it. Make a food out of it. Which I don't know if it's right, attacking into this. I mean, still a trade at the end of the day, and I do want to get this out of the way eventually. And then he'll be forced to re-equip the weapon again. So I still think I attack in with the adversary. Ooh, I guess... Ooh, yeah, the Rose Thorn can just make me an extra... Nah, I can't. Yeah, I almost thought it can make me an extra green mana, but I guess it can't. Yeah, let's just get this out of the way. Let's just attack. I think I'm fine with the trade. He does make a food, but I need to start pressuring the opponent. I can't have him to... I can't let him make a million blockers all day. Probably a counter spell for something else, so I think I'm going to play out the second adversary here. And if it gets countered, that's fine. At least Troll King doesn't get countered. Probably as it didn't say please. I'd rather have this get countered by Troll King, so... Alright, sure. Could be holding up another counter spell, I guess, because he is kind of in a dedicated mill deck, so hopefully he taps out. Yeah, he's probably holding on to another counter spell. So I think we just make a food here and kind of bait. And just get in there. I think it's fine. Yeah, he's definitely holding up counterspell, otherwise he wouldn't be keeping up all his mana. Well, that's a bomb. And he's going to block the Rosethorn Acolyte. So how am I going to win this? I need my second forest. His Lockmere Serpent is going to gain 1,000,000 life. Okay, so this is probably my hardest matchup yet. I think I just concede. Yeah, I don't think I can win this. Okay. So I don't mind the return to nature just to deal with the giant skewer, and he could have like more stuff, enchantment base removal. We definitely need to be hyper aggressive, so I think I need to double Tempting Witch to kind of drain the opponent out. The opponent also has black, is also playing black, so I think I like the Spectre Shriek. So we're playing against a mill deck. We do need to be aggressive. Why is this loading taking so stupid? Like, this is retarded. Like, MTG Arena, fix your loading. Thank you. Alright, so I think I would put in the Memory Theft in this deck. I think I like the Spectre Shriek as well. I think we're trying to be aggressive here. I mean, I guess Return to Nature only deals with the Skewer, so it's not such a high priority, so I can see myself cutting it. I think I like the second Tempting Witch as a way to kind of drain the opponent out. The Marrowleaf Rider doesn't seem too amazing. The Broom doesn't look too amazing. Like, I guess the game plan is just to play a bunch of Tempting Witch and to drain the opponent out. I like the Spectre Shriek and the Memory Theft to kind of shoot their hand, I guess. I can cut the Foreboding Fruit. I mean, Marrowleaf Rider is still a decent attacker on turn 2. Unless he puts up a 4 toughness blocker, which I can't answer. Yeah, I think I can see myself cutting the Foreboding Fruit, because I don't really want to mill myself even more. Marrowleaf Rider can be aggressive 2-drop. How good is the Crashing Drawbridge? Don't think I care. Something like this. Yeah, maybe I should have played out the Serpent. I mean, I knew the opponent had to play the Serpent or something, but all right, let's try to play a better match. So let's go on to play Tempting Witches and Marrowleaf Riders. I think I like this, and our goal should be to just kind of aggro the opponent and then use the Tempting Witch to drain them out with the food that we make. I think that's the only way we can win. Otherwise, you're just gonna mill us to death and play defense all day. Opponent didn't start out with a mill. Okay, that's interesting. So now we have a Marrowleaf Rider. I think I want to resolve the Tempting Witch more than I want to resolve the Sporecap Spider. So I don't care if the Sporecap Spider gets countered. Avantris Gargoyle. Okay. So kind of got punished for not having a Return to Nature now. So he can still block because he has 4 or more in his graveyard, but he can't attack. So I think the goal now is just to drain the opponent with the Tempting Witches. And if I get a land next turn, I can just get in with the Deathless Knight. Opponent should still have more than 4 cards next turn, so he's definitely looking to counter. So I think I just offer him the Sporecap Spider here. I think we just say go. Alright, that's a good mill. Jeez, I really want the food so I can just kind of drain them out eventually. Now Avantris Paladin, but my flyer can block it. I guess I could sacrifice the food and trade off for the Paladin. I actually don't mind that play. Yeah, let's just play this out. And I guess we sack the food. Get a good attack in. I guess I can still once in future back whatever he throws into my graveyard. But I'm happy if he wants to trade off for this Deathless Knight. This represents a ton of damage over time that he needs to eventually deal with. Alright, Sages of the Fall is going to block for a while, so we need a way around that. Eventually just going to start getting in the air. Ooh, Adversary is good. I don't think he minds me drawing cards, but at least this can kind of pressure the opponent. Don't mind if he mills Trail of Crumbs. I don't really want to draw a million cards as well. Still 4 cards in my graveyard, so it's probably going to still keep up Counterspell here. I think we get him with the Adversary. And if I want Once in Future, what do I get back? Don't think I care about getting back anything as of right now. Don't mind this trade either, because I don't really want this to keep flying over and smashing me for a million. He could flash in Lockmere Serpent end of turn, and that would be pretty bad. I don't mind if he mills me here. Again, I can just get the cards back from Once in Future. I do need Quadruple Forest though, but I think I'm fine playing out this Tempting Witch. Getting it countered is okay. Alright. Well, that can just gain him life. So yeah, I don't know if I can beat a Lockmere Serpent. Opponent has another opponent with a pretty strong deck. Yeah, I don't think I have any way to get rid of this Lockmere Serpent. He's just going to exile 5 cards from my library. I guess if you exile 5 cards to bring something back, I guess I can still Once in Future them back. But this isn't looking good. I probably need to find a way to drain them with the Tempting Witch and kill them. I think that's my only way. I could chump with the Spider. His Lockmere Serpent is just a bomb that needs to get answered. He's just going to make this unblockable, I guess. I guess our game plan is just to kind of drain them and go for it. I mean, he's just going to make... I can't play defense, otherwise... Otherwise, you know, he's just going to keep smacking me for 7 and I won't gain enough life. So I need to find a way to basically just keep draining the opponent and get in for a large attack. So, yeah, take it here. End turn, we can just sack the food, deal 3 damage to the opponent's face. Should have enough for Counterspell again, so gotta be wary of this. But I don't think there's any way I can win with just, well, I don't care. He loses the life, that's fine. But definitely scary facing against both Vantress, Gargoyle, and Lockmere Serpent in the same deck. So, I mean, we're not going to get there with the Feasting Troll King unless we get more Forest. So I think the plan might just be get Giant Opportunity back and just constantly drain the opponent. I mean, he can start gaining life from the swamps that he sacrificed too, so that's not good. Insatiable Appetite, and this can maybe block off the Serpent. But I think we're just going to say go. He's probably going to sacrifice a Swamp and draw cards and gain life. Yeah, Lockmere Serpent is one of those unfair limited cards. The first match I might have had a chance if I was a little bit more aggressive, but I'm not so sure about this. He can just keep sacrificing Island and getting in. So how do I deal with that? Maybe I just concede. Yeah, I think I just concede. I don't have an Epic Downfall or Bacon to Pie in this deck. Lockmere Serpent is just one of those bombs that you just can't win against unlimited. Alright. Oh, I guess this is our first loss. But either way, we did have a pretty decent start. So yeah, our deck is still looking fine. Return of Nature, Giant Opportunity, Insatiable Appetite. Yeah, I might just cut the Return of Nature for another Tempting Witch. I don't know. But it's pretty good. Yeah, maybe the Insatiable for a second Tempting Witch isn't all that bad. This is only like bad. I mean, Insatiable is only great if we're facing against other big creatures, but other than that, if we're kind of playing on the aggro plan, we can just kind of just drain them out. So I think this is a little bit better. But yeah, can't really beat Lochmere Serpent 2 games in a row. That card's an incredible bomb. It's pretty much unbeatable like Garruk. I mean, Oko is still beatable. It's still busted. Oko is still busted, but at least it's slightly beatable. It's still busted nonetheless. But hopefully we get there. Is this the same opponent? Hopefully not. I forgot the name of the last opponent, but hopefully it's not the same opponent. Otherwise, this draft would have been mediocre. Okay, turn 1, Kiri Spare. Turn 2, play it. Tempting Witch on 3, and then Okame. I think I like this. Opponent's in black. Okay, so well, it could still be the same opponent. I forgot the name of the last one, so wasn't paying attention. Anyways, we'll see what comes out. Okay, no, it's not the same opponent. Opponent's playing aggro, black, red knights. So lots of small creatures looking to be quite aggressive. Could just play out the Trail of Crumbs here, but I think I like the blocker. Don't need to use Trail too early. I'm not planning to activate it right away. Just looking to style the board, use this in the late game with more lands. Well, opponent just passes. So I think we just get him there for 1. And play out Tempting Witch. Alright, opponent's in the black-red deck and hasn't played anything until turn 4. So that's kind of sketchy. Don't think I need Outmuscle. I think I just play out the Adversary. Next turn I can maybe Outmuscle this away. We'll just say go. We'll love the Adamant from the Outmuscle as well. He could be keeping on mana. Okay. I actually don't mind this. It's probably going to give this Menace. I don't understand. Yeah, I'm fine trading off Kiri's Pair for it. And as long as he doesn't have Lash of Thorns, I'm good here. So I think this is good. And I'm fine getting in with the Tempting Witch. Could have another Paladin, but I don't care, to be honest. Yeah, you could have another one. Maybe I should have left it up to trade, because it could add up over time, the damage. Alright, Beloved Princess. Don't think that's a playable card you want to do in Limited. I don't think you want to splash white for that. But I guess I'll be taking 4. Well, I guess the Cauldron can take care of this Paladin now. That's a pretty good top deck. Let's make sure we play our Trail of Crumbs before we do that. Maybe I just leave the Tempting Witch back since the opponent seems to love those Paladins. Yeah, well, this opponent doesn't seem too scary. Just gotta play more defensive creatures and we can get there. Sure. Alright. But he doesn't have any activations up for that. So I could just Foreboding Fruit myself for Adamant and get in with the Adversary. Well, I guess he's just going to get them back, so I do need more blockers. He's going to bring back the Paladin, so I'm fine keeping the Tempting Witch back. I don't understand this attack, but I'll block it. Right. Yeah, let's foreboding fruit ourselves. Ooh, Spore Cap Spider, don't mind if I do. So opponent's definitely not getting in now, for sure. I mean, I guess the opponent has 2 toughness with the shield breaker, so I might still have to double block it. Which I'm fine with Tempting Witch trading off. I mean, I would love to lob damage at the opponent's face, but do I mind trading for the Ogre Errant here? I guess I want to play Sir Comet first before we do that. Alright. Well, that wasn't too difficult. So in this matchup, I guess Return of Nature can still be okay against the Fortifying Provisions. But I don't think it's that amazing. I think, again, we need to kind of play the defense plan against super aggro opponents. Don't think you should splash your Beloved Princess in a deck. I don't think it's worth it. Alright, so the computer's being dumb again. I'm lagging. The thing is not responding. Come on. Magic the Gathering Arena, you're supposed to be the best digital representation of Magic. Alright, now in this, I think we like the Insatiable Appetite since the opponent's looking to be aggressive. How good Spectre Shriek? I don't think I care. I didn't see too many crazy black cards the opponent played. Mostly red. I think the Giant Opportunity is fine. What do we cut? Yeah, maybe the Return of Nature can go. Don't think I need it too often. Opponent doesn't have any flyers as well. We need to have as many ground blockers that we can. So I think this is a keep. Didn't see any black cards, so I don't think I need a Spectre Shriek against this opponent. Or Memory Theft. Alright, Tempting Witch on 3. We're on the draw. This is a pretty expensive hand. I think I mulligan. Like, I don't know if I have time to get to Sir Conrad and Bognati. And the opponent's playing aggro, so I think it's fine going down. And then this is a good keep. I think I can bomb a Forest. Weaselback Redcap turn 1. Alright, a Ginger Brute. Makes sense. Cauldron can deal with the Ember of Paladin as long though, so that's fine. Still need to take 1 for now. Giant Skewer. Alright, so this might get scary. Think I just play out the Gingerbread Cabin here. Nah, I'm fine holding on to it. I still have a Forest to play into. I could just use the Cauldron on this and keep up mana. Okay. I could just take the damage and still play out the Rosethorn Acolyte. And then next turn, I have 4 mana up. I don't know how good that is. Yeah, we just fire it off now. Why not? This is gonna get too annoying. And besides, he can just develop another creature and just re-equip next turn. And I'm gonna be tapped out too with the Gingerbread Cabin coming in tapped. Okay, this Paladin's annoying. Gotta take 4. Mereleaf Rider isn't bad. I think I prefer trading that over with the Paladin over the Rosethorn, so I think this is good. Could have a removal spell, which would suck. Alright, Bake into a Pie, sure. So if he equips the Skewer, I guess the Rosethorn can still block. But the opponent's definitely getting in for a lot. Maybe the Wicked Guardian's better because it's more mana efficient. But I definitely need to play defense against this opponent. Alright, another one, sure. Gets one more hit and I'm dead. Alright, so we definitely need to consider the sideboards if we lose this. Guess we'll just play out the Acolytes. We do need some food to start gaining life and stabilizing. If he equips the food... So, there's definitely a matchup we're looking to be aggressive. Okay, it's a good game, right? Yep. Yep, okay, so we're definitely looking... We definitely need to have lots of early game answers to the opponent. Since he's playing just a hyper-aggressive aggro deck. We can consider cutting some expensive cards too, maybe. Just to make sure we have enough cheap blockers to fend off the early game. Yeah, maybe Insatiable Appetite isn't that great. I don't think I really want to kind of make some good trades. I can see myself maybe cutting the Foreboding Fruit since it's going to deal damage to us. Yeah, maybe Crashing Drawbridge is fine against the Ginger Brutes too. So we really need to shore up our defense to kind of win against this opponent, in a sense. So I think it's reasonable to actually put in a Jousting Dummy in this deck. What else do we need? I like the Broom on 2. The Appetite. Foreboding Fruit might just be too slow. It's probably not that good against us. Against the opponent. I guess a Crashing Drawbridge to answer the Ginger Brute, and it's still a blocker, I guess. Don't think we need Hengewalker, it's pretty bad. And now what do we cut? Could cut the Once in Future, since it was kind of stuck in our hand the whole time. The opponent didn't play too many black cards. Yeah, maybe I don't think we need Crashing Drawbridge. Yeah, maybe we don't need it. Could side into Spectre Shriek. I think I need my blockers on the ground. The Giant Opportunity really helps. The Sorcerer's Brew. Maybe I can cut like the Forever Young. I guess the Insatiable Appetite can go. Maybe put in the Spectre Shriek. Yeah, maybe cut the Forever Young. We don't really care about recurring. Like, it does help, I guess. But maybe just a better blocker. Maybe Crashing Drawbridge can fend against Ginger Brutes. And the only weapon we're dealing with is the Skewers. Oh, jeez. It just ended? That's stupid. Alright, well, I guess we didn't save our choices. So we don't have the most optimal deck, but we'll try this out. Tempting Witch, okay, I think this is good. We definitely want Kiri's Pair on 1 and Tempting Witch on 3. So we have a good chance here. Opponent with Ginger Brute turn 1. I'm presuming a Weaselback. I'm fine trading off for a Weaselback if he wants. Okay, just wants to destroy my food, that's fine. I can make more. Don't know if I need to Rose Thorn Halp. I need to play out the Rose Thorn Acolyte or not. Okay, I can still block this reasonably well. Can make a million food here, but I think the earlier we get Acolyte, the more mana we can use and spend. So I think we're playing this and we're fine staying back. The opponent doesn't seem to have Adamant often with the Ember Paladin, so I think we're still going to have some decent blocks against the opponent. You could have a Barge in. I might have to double block here. Don't care about this. Sure. We can double spell. Just to be mana efficient, we can just play out the Adversary. I think I like double spelling here. Just to shore up the ground against the opponent's creatures. And play defense for now. Alright, Wicked Guardian. Well, that's not going to work too well unless he wants to kill off his own creatures. I'm fine trading the Marrowleaf Rider for it, I think. Just because there's a big creature that's going to be pretty bad if he has a pump spell. Ooh, once in future, so I guess the adversary comes down. I can sacrifice the food. And I should have more food to make anyway, so I don't care. This is a good trade. Alright, the Redcap Raiders. We don't have any good blocks against that, I guess. Could have a Joust here, I think, that he's going to use. I think he's using Joust. Maybe just getting rid of a blocker for now. Fling. Alright, that's interesting. So I could Giant Opportunity here, make a bunch of food, and then next turn I can once in future for the Oakham adversary. And I should still have enough blockers up. I think that's worth it. And I can get back Oakham adversary and another Giant Opportunity to make even more food and then make a 7/7. Okay, bring our trainer. I think I might have double blocked that. I'm fine taking the hit from the other knight. If he's just attacking, okay, I'm fine taking out the Bring Our Trainer. I don't think I care too much about the 4/3 lifelinker. That will eventually get answered. Sure. Okay, Sporecaft Spider is good, but we should have enough blockers that I think I want to once in future for Adamant. So I think we're fine saying go. I like the Oakham and I like the Giant Opportunity. More food is good. Pay Adamant for this. Ooh, a Foreboding Fruit. I can use it on myself, but I think we like the adversary first. Say go. I could make a 7/7, but I think the food might just be more important because we're just going to win the long game either way. I don't care if he attacks here. I think it's fine. Right, the Cauldron's good, so I can Cauldron and get in a good attack. He could double block, but that's fine for me. Fine with me. I just want to keep drawing cards out of this, so let's get in there. Double block would be fine because I can just make a giant the next turn after and just finish off the opponent. This is still fine 2-for-1 at the end of the day. The opponent's almost out of cards. Don't think Tempting Witch is a card you want to be playing. Could even Forever Young my creatures back, but I think it's time to make a 7/7 giant. Yeah, it's Forever Young. Yeah, let's get back the adversary. I think I like that. You can drain me for 3, but I should still have enough life to get by. This 7/7 is just gonna keep smashing the opponent like a truck. Guess he might have his own Forever Young or Barrow Witches to get back his creatures. Right, his own Forever Young, sure. But I think I'm going to win the long value game either way, if he wants to do this. He doesn't have Adamant for the Paladin, so I can constantly just put up the blockers. Don't care about this. Sir Conrad's looking great. Do I just play out Sir Conrad? Probably. And I don't need to necessarily attack with a 7/7. I mean, I guess it can be fine. Because if he wants to play out the Ember Paladin, then I can just trade off with the Kiri's pairing. He doesn't have Adamant going, so... I could also just mill his cards off the top, which is also reasonable. Which, you know, I'm not opposed to. I can activate twice. I could just play out the adversary, in fact, and just mill once, but let's get in for attack. Yeah, let's use it once. And now the Sporecraft Spider is a good blocker. This Feasting Troll King won't be casted, but I can win without it. Sure. I guess his job now is just to get me to 0, but he's far away from that. Alright, the Deathless Knight looks good. And I can also just activate Conrad as well. So I can charge in with both. It's lethal if he doesn't block. And then I can mill with Sir Conrad. Yeah, just do it now. I guess he could just take it, but I'm not dead on the. I'm not dead along the way. Okay, all right. Thank God we got that victory. I was almost scared I was gonna lose to this type of deck, but all right. Lord Divine Reclamation. Let's take a nice snapshot. Screen capture. Sure. And I think this is still our deck. Let's see. Yeah, this is fine. This is decent. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. I can see myself cutting a Tempting Witch, I guess. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. Just cut a Tempting Witch, because it's not the best blocker at the end of the day. It's almost like a Kiri's pair. Maybe put in Insatiable Appetite in our deck, just as more interaction and removal. These are sideboard, of course. Second Tempting Witch, Fell the Pheasant against Flyers, Crashing Drawbridge against Ginger Brutes. Yeah, I think this is our deck, and even with 10-7, 10 Forest and 7 Swamps, we've been having a hard time casting Feasting Troll King. So it can show how sketchy this mana base can be if we manage to even go 9-8. And even then we managed to draw our black, but yeah, let's move on to the final boss and get our 5 wins. And there we go. Alright, let's see. Opponent's on the play, I presume. We're on the draw. We have Broom on 2. We have Adversary on 4. We do need a single black to get this hand going, but I guess it can be okay. We're on the draw, so maybe we can still find some playables. It's not the most amazing keep, and we do need to find a way to trigger this Wicked Guardian, but once we get Occame Ranger down, Adversary down, that can be fine. Hopefully we're facing against a hyper-aggressive opponent, but we still have room to kind of trade off, and maybe black to get our creatures back. Opponent's in black, a Cauldron Familiar, so he's definitely black-green foods. I can't imagine him playing this anywhere else. Has to be black-green foods. I can't imagine like black-red knights with food. Well, Crashing Drawbridge, so the opponent is definitely playing a sketchy deck. Like the Sorcerer's Broom here, next turn we can make a food. Play out Kiri's Pair. So we're facing against some pretty interesting drafters. I don't think I trade this off. I could, but then he could just make a food and buy it back. But I could just play out Kiri's Pair next turn and block it. This can block something even more scarier. Okay, the Cauldron. So the opponent is definitely playing all the artifacts that he can. Next turn I don't mind the Cauldron on my Kiri's Pair. It's not the end of the world. I can just fall. At least he's not using it on my Occame Adversary. And I'm still fine taking 1 damage from the Cauldron Familiar, to be honest. I guess he could leave mana up and I can play the Wicked Guardian and then he can sacrifice this in response to the Kiri's Pair. So I don't get a card draw. But either way, I don't think I want to play out the Occame Adversary. Alright, I don't mind that. I'll take that since the Kiri's Pair can simply block the 1/1 all day and I can just draw cards off of it and I even get a Return to Nature. But I think this turn we want to be mana efficient. I could just play out the Adversary right now. I don't think that's a bad idea. Yeah. And the opponent might be just forced to chump block all day. Still don't know what the opponent's second color is. Could just be mono black with a Yara, I suppose, since he's not showing much. In fact, this is a pretty sketchy deck overall. Main decking a Crashing Drawbridge when you aren't really even that aggressive. Okay, so he's black-blue with a Cauldron, which doesn't make any sense, but he might have the Witch's Cauldron and the combo assembled with it. So in this scenario, he's looking to play a much more controlling game with defense. Well, I guess I can Return to Nature to Frogify now. Do I do that or do I Wicked Guardian? It's Wicked Guardian first, I think, because it's still another potential threat that the opponent needs to answer. I can Return to Nature to Frogify the next turn, and then I can get in a good attack. And I can even play out the Cauldron, so this is just a lot more mana efficient overall, which I'm happy with. No attacks. Could Return to Nature and a Crashing Drawbridge, but this is just a scary creature that he needs to constantly deal with all day. The opponent, unless he's playing the Lochmere Serpent, I don't see any reason to have a Crashing Drawbridge with haste in this type of deck, which I'm hoping he doesn't have the Lochmere Serpent. So I guess now we can just cast Return to Nature and also Giant Opportunity. I think I'll do that. And if he counters it, we can just play the Giant Opportunity. Maybe I should lead off with the Giant Opportunity first. Okay, now I can get in a good attack. Fine sending Wicked Guardian and the Adversary. So this is definitely the game that I'm looking forward to main decking Return to Nature. Opponent has some interesting decisions. Okay, he's chomping with the cat. I guess he can get it back with food. Makes sense. I could also sack the Cauldron to play around something. So now I guess I can play out Giant Opportunity. Could get countered again. He could just be saving up, but so be it. I don't think his game plan is to out aggro me, to be honest. So I don't understand the Drawbridge. I guess he's just trying to play defense to maybe play out a Lochmere Serpent, maybe. Sure. Okay, I guess he wants to... I don't understand why he wants to counter that over the Oakham adversary. That doesn't make any sense, but at least I got this out of the way. Okay, Belder Brawl is an aggressive card. Doesn't make any sense for his deck. And Witch's Oven for the Kitty Cat combo. So I guess it's fine just attacking here and then playing out the Feasting Troll King. I could just sacrifice the Cauldron and take out Bell, but he's going to use the Witch's Oven on it, so I think it's just fine getting an attack in here. If he wants to trade out for Adversary, that's fine. I'm still going to get him for 4. Sure. He might just sack the Crashing Drawbridge here and make a food and then make the cat. But this can still trample over for a ton of damage. And I can still Forever Young whatever dies and then replay it again. So opponent got the Kitty Cat for the combo Sembo, but if he can, unless he can deal with this Trampler, then he's in trouble. I guess he can just constantly chump this Wicked Guardian. But I mean, he could just put it in front of Feasting Troll King to negate 1 damage, so I think it's best to just start attacking. I mean, I could even just send the Kiri's pair at this point. Don't think I need to use Forever Young right now. He could have like the Reaper, I guess. Border Modder, I don't care about that. Alright, a second Quarter Martyr to double block my Wicked Guardian. But I guess he also needs to double block the Deathless Knight, so I think I'm sending everything. Do I send the Kiri's pair? I guess I can. Unless he wants to take a million. I guess his job is just to make a million food with this Witch's Cauldron and just try to survive all day. I don't know if that's a good game plan, to be honest. Definitely take out the Quarter Modder here. He could sack it, but I still kill one, I guess. And I mean, I guess this kitten still stays alive, so I can't resummon it anyways. But at least those Cauldrons are gone. Could just Forever Young right now. I think that's reasonable. And we can get back the Adversary and Wicked Guardian. I don't mind, it doesn't matter which one you draw first, but I'd rather, if he has the Reaper, I wanted to discard my Wicked Guardian over my Adversary, so I'll take it. Yep, alright. Well, I guess this is a free win. I can upload this video on my YouTube. This opponent doesn't seem too difficult. I'd be damned if he like flashes in the Lochmere Serpent. But I definitely need to play around like Mystical Dispute. We're looking to be on the aggro plan, I suppose. But I don't mind double tempting Witch. I mean, it's a little bit bad with double tempting Witch anyway, since he's just going to make a million food. So obviously we're looking to be aggressive and maybe just play our big creatures. And hopefully we don't, and play around some counter spells, so we can resolve our big creatures and just smash it for a ton. Alright. Usually this loading problem doesn't happen in traditional draft. I mean, in best out of 1, but now it's happening. He has no flyers, so I don't care. I'm obviously main decking Return to Nature. Don't mind a Giant Opportunity. It can even make a 7/7 at the end of the day, but that's just going to get chumped. I guess it's food. Did the opponent play any black cards? I mean, there was only the Cauldron Familiar I saw, so I don't see a reason. But maybe Spectre Shriek can be fine. You could have another black card I need to deal with, but I didn't see any besides the Cauldron Familiar, so maybe we just keep this and just say go. Could just main deck the second Tempting Witch. But over what? I think I like all my 4s. I think I like my 5. I like my 6. I mean, I can see myself just cutting the Spore Cap Spider at the end of the day. Maybe just for, I guess, the Spectre Shriek since he's going black. I mean, I guess we could drain him, but he's just going to gain a bunch of life with the food anyways from the ovens. So maybe the Shriek is actually fine. He did have a Frogify, so yeah, I think something like this. So the only scary opponents we played today with were the red green aggro deck, which we won, and then the one that had Lochmere Serpent that was constantly milling us out. Definitely not a keep. We're on the draw, only one forest. It's definitely incredibly sketchy. This I'm fine keeping, but because I don't want to go down to 5, but it is still sketchy, but I'll still keep. I guess I can bottom a 4-drop, maybe just bottom the Wicked Guardian because I have no targets, and just keep it like this. Alright, the Witching Well. Sure. And Trail of Crumbs on 2, that's not bad. I think I might lead off with the Sorcerer's Broom. Quarter Modder. Okay, well, I mean, the Sorcerer Broom isn't going to get in anyways. I guess I can kind of trade 1 for 1, but I think it's much more important to resolve Trail of Crumbs in case he counters it. Opponent doesn't seem to be on a mill plan, but just some weird defense plan. He could have a Mystical Dispute up. Alright, I guess he's playing a Tempting Witch. So he's definitely on a control plan, of course. And here, what do? I think I just play out the Giant Opportunity, make a bunch of food. For this Trail of Crumbs, just say go. Don't need to make a 7/7 Giant. Could have a Mystical Dispute here up, which he had last game, but if he taps out, I'm obviously resolving this Oakham adversary, which is good. Okay, Witch's Oven, combo assembled. Does he have the Kitty Cat? And a Cauldron, okay. Do I just bait out the Cauldron? I could just sack food, to be honest, and just try to hit my land drops. I could just play the Oakham and kind of force him to use it. It's not the end of the world. I guess I'll just play it out. Because next turn, I guess I can kind of look for the food. I mean, the extra land for this Feasting Troll King. But for now, I guess we just... Because I could just resolve the Sorcerer and also sack food, find the land. And this turn, I can just force him to use the Cauldron, which I don't mind. I guess I could attack. He blocks. He uses the Witch's Oven, make a million food, sack the Cauldron. Alright, I'm fine with this since he's going to tap out. He's going to be tapped out. And I can just recur it back anyways. Here, I think the play is obviously we're going to sack food first. And I think I want my 4/4 so I can kind of resolve the Feasting Troll King next turn. Gingerbread Cabin's fine. Guess we played out. And Broom. And if he counters Feasting Troll King, I guess I can just sacrifice the food and just replay it. So, I guess that's fine. I mean, I guess he could also have the Frogify on this. But if he does, I guess I can just search out more stuff with my Trail of Crumbs. Don't know what type of deck the opponent's building. Maybe I'm fine just blocking like this. Nah. I think I can get more value in the long run just making a bunch of brooms. So I think this is fine. There shouldn't be enough mana for Counterspell here. He could have a Frogify up. But I don't think I'm in any worry of dying. Since I have all this food to sack and gain life. This Tempting Witch. The opponent is not... Blue-black is not necessarily an aggressive deck unless you have Lochmere Serpent. Alright, I think that's a waste, so I'm definitely keeping this back. Gotta emote the opponent here for making a bad mistake. And if I'm getting in for 1, because, you know, he's probably gonna make this unblockable anyways if he wants to get past this Troll King. If he has another Frogify, okay, he's memory thefting away my food, my draw. That's fine. I can still draw more stuff with the Trail of Crumbs anyways. And I could Spectre Shriek the opponent, discarding my land. I think it's fine. The Didn't Say Please is annoying. It's gonna take him forever to get the Prophet of Peak out, so I think I'm fine losing my land just to get rid of Didn't Say Please. And then now we can just activate the food, sack it. Yeah, I'm probably need another swamp here. Do I need to play it out? Probably not. We'll just play it out at this point. The opponent knows that our hand is empty. And I guess we can still sacrifice another food end of turn and search for more playables. Opponent might just block here and use the Witch's Oven, but the trample is still relevant. I guess he's just going to take it. That's fine. So now his counterspell mana is gone. He needs to sack the Witching Well to refuel. Tempting Witch, Deathless Knight. I mean, guess Deathless Knight is not too bad. Like, I can just keep getting it back and replaying it. And either way, I'm still drawing cards off it. Ooh, never mind. I think Bognati is just a better choice at this point, since I can just minus and kill off his creatures over time. I think this is just pretty much a free win at this point. The opponent is playing a pretty janky deck. And sometimes in traditional draft, best out of 3, you face against weaker opponents, but the payoff is definitely a lot higher. Ranked draft, the people try a little bit harder, of course, but the win rate isn't exactly amazing. Don't care if he sacrifices, this is still trampling over to 7. If he wants to use it, yep. Don't think I need to minus with the Bognati on Gingerbrew because he's just going to sacrifice in response. So maybe I just play out the Deathless Knight next turn anyways. Could have a counterspell, that's fine. I can just replay it if I sacrifice a food. So let's play it out. Let's play out land. Just attack with guess I can attack with all, and it should just be lethal. I don't care if the Sorcerer's Broom die. I'd rather have it die anyways, so it can kind of it can come back. I can get back from the graveyard, of course. He should have a So Tiny maybe. And if he does, I can respond to that. And yeah, I guess he's just gonna sacrifice food here. Don't think this matters too much. If he tries something, I'm obviously going to activate the Bognati. Yeah, I could have like a Sultani on my Bognati. That should be fine though. Lash of Thorns. Well, I guess I can still minus this to trample over for more. So I think I'm going to do that. And I can still bring back my Troll King with the 3 foods, and I can still search something up too. Curie Spare looks good. So this is still trampling over for 5. This is still lethal. Yeah, unless he's sacked. Oh, actually this is 0 power, so so yeah. Alright, so that was good. That was a good play on my part. Just getting rid of Death Touch with this Bognati. Emery, sure, that's fun. But too bad you can't tap it this turn. Alright, sweet. Nice 5-in-1 victory. Lost to a pretty scary Lochmere Serpent deck, but this was definitely a very good one. This draft was definitely a very good one. I definitely prefer to play best out of 3 over best out of 1. So let's crack our rewards. Let's just pretend this is kind of like a real life draft. Pack 1, pick 1. Let's look through this. I guess this is fine for like a mid-rangey green white deck if you have like more big creatures, but other than that, it's not too amazing unless you're looking to ramp in green white, which you usually don't tend to, since you're looking to just play lots of cheap creatures, flood the board, and go wide. So maybe Ardenvale Tactician seems to make sense, but yeah. Definitely a great card if you can play the more mid-rangey variant and you can play lots of expensive creatures, some Garenbrig Paladins and the Toonvale Tree Folks as your curve toppers, or even with like Feasting Troll King. This is a good card. But otherwise, yeah, it's one of those weird cards that are in 2 colors that don't really match description. Ooh, Archon's a bomb. Never drafted this before, even in paper. Wouldn't mind playing this one day. Definitely a powerful card. Lucky Clover is definitely excellent as well. If Harmonious Archon wasn't in this pack, I'd probably go for Lucky Clover, simply because the value tends to outweigh the removal spells. But Archon is definitely a payoff for white, since you're looking to go wide, and then you can neutralize all your opponent's creatures into 3/3s if they have giant creatures, and then you can smash in for a ton and with your creatures if you have a lot going wide. So definitely great. There's also Into the Story, but that's for blue-black mill. It's a great powerful card if you can mill the opponent, but other than that, you don't really want to pay 7 mana to draw 4 cards. Folio Fancy is a nice pack 1, pick 1. Does commit you to the mill archetype, but if you can get it going, is definitely a bomb. Otherwise, Sir Conrad, if you want to stay a little bit safer, is an excellent curve topper for any white aggressive deck. Between these two, it's very close. Like, I mean, Folio is obviously if you can force the blue mill and you can have a really great controlling deck, you can just win with this. But it is quite narrow, and you need to draft a lot of mill cards to get it going. And it can still be destroyed by like Return to Nature or Ember of Shieldbreaker, so there's some potential problems with that. Sir Alan, if you're looking to be a little bit less narrow, which you're looking to play the more traditional limited type of decks where you're looking to curve out and play this as a curve topper. Definitely not a bomb, so it can still be answered. You don't necessarily win with Sir Alan. Maybe I would take the Folio just because it's higher variance. I do miss out on Sir Alan, that's bad, but if the blue, mono blue, or blue black deck actually does come into fruition, Folio Fancy just wins the game by itself. So yeah, high risk, high reward. Maybe just take the Folio. Right here, it's close between Sir Eleanor and Outmuscle. Rampart Smashers in 2 colors. I don't know, these 2 are good cards. I do tend to like green a lot more in this format. I think it's the best color along with black. And this is just a solid removal spell. Upgrade a creature, kill another creature. Sir Eleanor has 5 mana. It can be a little bit clunky, but it is an above average 5-drop, nothing special. Replaces itself by drawing a card, and then it can be a decent aggressive creature in the blue deck if you need some attacker in the late game. But it has some downsides. If your hand is empty, it's not going to perform its best. But it's a solid blocker either way in like a blue deck, and blue's looking to be more controlling. But it's kind of funny how Sir Eleanor is a knight, since blue doesn't really care about being an aggressive knight deck, but more controlling. But it's decent. It replaces itself, but it's quite expensive, and it doesn't really impact the board right away, other than putting out a giant body, body with a good toughness level and drawing a card. Maybe Outmuscle simply because it looks to impact the board a little bit more. Deals with the creature. So yeah. Alright, Revenge of Ravens is a great card. Again, a lot of high variance. I might choose other pack 1 pick 1s over this. It is high variance in the fact that if you face against big green creatures or mill decks, it's not going to perform its best. But if you're facing against like aggressive decks like white, black, white, red, or red red-black, it tends to overperform. It's also great if you're in aggressive black deck, since it kind of helps you win the race in the long run. But it's definitely a powerful card. It's a lot high variance, but it's definitely up there if you can land the right matchups. Right, Adversary is powerful. I think I'd take over Charming Prince. Charming Prince is okay. You know, it's just a 2-mana 2/2, scries 2. Gain 3 life is not super relevant. The blink effect can be fine if, like, for example, a creature that is... your creature got locked down by enchantment-based removal spell, and Charming Prince can get an excellent value off of it. But there's not too many enter the battlefield effects that you care about, so the durability doesn't really come up too often unless a creature is locked down. Scry 2 is fine, fixes your draw step, doesn't necessarily draw you a card. Okay, Man's Adversary is just a house. As you can tell from our videos, the moment it connects, you just outvalue the opponent. The opponent is kind of incentivized to just trade off creatures to prevent this from outvaluing them. So, yep. So yeah, might do more traditional drafts, but overall I'm just going to upload these videos, and for any of you out there who are learning how the draft is set, this is definitely a good one. So have a wonderful day and take care, guys. See ya.